violence in the Cape Flats has been in the spotlight this week after about 13 people were killed last week. Yesterday, Police Minister Roeghshanda visited the area to engage with community members. We discussed this further with Roeghshanda Pascoe, Cape Flats anti-crime activist. Ms. Pascoe has recently won an International Women of Courage Award and is the first South African woman to win this prestigious award. First of all, ma'am, thank you very much for joining us and congratulations. So we highlight the glory, but there's a story which has landed you in witness protection. Tell us about the journey to get to where you are and the work that you have done.
So yes, I'm an anti-crime activist. I think 2016, making a decision to testify against a gang leader and his soldiers have put me where I am today. You know, the sadness is, for many years I've thought, why is it that people see these things happening but they are silent? Why are they not speaking up? And me taking that decision in speaking up, because now I have really seen it happening in front of my eyes, and with my soul, I just couldn't rest. I had to speak up and I had to take a step forward in saying, not just pointing the finger at those that don't want to speak out, but also being that person when seeing something wrong happening, something inhumane, I should speak up. I'm thinking at the moment also that the state, you know, would have my back and my family's back. That didn't take place. And my whole family was shot at the night before I had to testify. Almost all my children killed. So that has put me on another journey where I have become, you know, almost like a visitor in Cape Town or in South Africa. Nonetheless, it does not prohibit me from doing what I'm doing. I will keep on standing in the gap for those that are not able or are afraid to speak up and scared to step forward. Because the reality of the matter is, at this current moment, what I've learned through the 3 years that we have been out of Manenberg is that there is not real infrastructure for state witnesses in place. Therefore, one of my challenges, or say one of my stances, is to get that infrastructure in place so that any witness that comes after me that feels that they can step up and step forward, they would have a home that does not come with so much pain and challenges. They should feel comfortable and safe wherever they are taken to with their families, and not endure what I and my family have endured for these 3 years. Literally, we have been stripped from everything. We have lost so much. Separation from family, friends, school, everything of our life has been transformed into something else. I think as an activist, I know the price that needs to be paid. I think what is said is all my children's human rights were violated, where they couldn't go to school. They were a year out of school. My sons lost their jobs, and I can go on forever in saying what has transpired with us. My youngest granddaughter was 4 months old when we left. It's 3 years that we are gone.
Ms. Pascoe, I do beg your pardon, if you'd allow me, please, with everything that you have been highlighting. You have taken the road less traveled that a lot of people you talk about in the community simply just looking away. We just read the headlines, we just see the pictures that are coming through from that community. Take us into the community and what is faced by people and what would make people so afraid to change the circumstances around them.
You know, I think taking you into the community at large that is face and are at the cold front of what is happening. When shooting transpires, there's no alarm or siren going off to say shooting is going to happen now. So you can be at the shop and you would be shot and killed. Walking to the taxi or the bus stop, you can be shot and killed. A child walking to school, you can be shot and killed. But not even your home is a safe space. Because while the bullets come through the windows, through the doors, and you could just simply sit and watch TV and you would be shot and killed. So the reality of our people on the ground is of this nature. When gang violence is as it is now at this current state, people will be sleeping on the floor. At best, some sleep underneath the bed. You'll find a lot of beds are stacked up with bricks to lift it up so that there can be space underneath. Some would run to the bathroom and just sleep in the bath just to be safe. So you'll choose the safest space in your house where you know the bullets cannot come through in order to be alive the next day. That is the harsh reality. I think the other harsh reality is that we cannot deny the fact that corruption is running deep. So as much as people want that relation with the people, in many instances, and even in my case, even before I testified and said that I'm going to testify, communicated with the investigating officer, the community already knew that I was going to testify, and that is how quick things leak out even from the police station. The other matter for me is that we really should realize and really should emphasis on, this is not the police work alone. This needs a multi-point pronged approach. And when I say a multi-point pronged approach, gang violence is a symptom of so many that and so much that is happening and has been laid dormant. So you can imagine the gang leader becoming the social development department. It's the gang leader that gives electricity. It's the gang leader that puts food on the table. I had to hear a 7-year-old mom compromise a 7-year-old son in saying, if he is not the carrier for the gang, and carrier means either he carries the drugs around or he carries the guns and the bullets around. Who is going to put food on my table? Is it going to be you that put food on my table? Because clearly our government has no interest in us. And that is the harsh reality of our people. And therefore, that is not a police issue. We cannot blame the police in that instance. We have all a role and a part to play to address the realities of our people on the ground. And I think as activists, as community workers, as NPOs and NGOs in these communities, we have done our bit. We have always been there, and we were always giving the service that the department should have got given to our people. The breakdown is where these departments are not seeing us as equal partners, rendering a service to our people. And now the gang leader has become the hero, and only after the fact, when people realize this is dangerous, then they start screaming at you and wanting help to get out of it, and then it is too late. And that is the harsh reality.
Yeah, Ms. Pascoe, you paint a rather difficult picture, and with you winning the International Woman of Courage Award, you speak of the gangsters being the heroes, you know, that people see in the community. You are now what other people would see in that community as a hero. What does this award mean to you, if anything at all?
You know, one thing I would really want to put emphasis on. I started out resisting and challenging the status quo, not for any award. But yeah, on a spiritual level, it's a journey, and it has taken me here. I've always said back then, when in 2009, when we started out with the Manenberg Safety Forum, I said, if nobody on South African soil is going to listen to us, we will take this battle globally. And by today, by the grace of the Almighty, it is globally. But I think what really got to me on Monday when hearing the First Lady, Anthony Blinken, speaking, it only kicked in Monday night that the Cape Flats written off by so many as drug addicts, gunslingers, have received this international award because I'm a proudly Menenberg citizen on the Cape Flats, where people are afraid to go to. And I'm coming from that space, and proudly I can say to the other young people in the same situation as I was growing up in Menenberg, young mothers, young married couples, never give up, but do it. Whatever you do it in the stride to please God and nobody else. And He will alleviate us to where we should go in order to be heard and listened to, because that is what this award means to me. As a young person, as an activist growing up in Menenberg, you know what? Once the soul is convicted, there's no return back. The soul overpowers the heart and the brain. And so therefore I stand with the people on the Cape Flats facing this, and we will resist, and we will keep on resist, and we will knock on the doors that need to be opened. Shanda is far from leaving this battle behind. I will still strive, and I will still move to bring to our people the service they so well deserve in this country.
Ms. Roeghshanda Pascoe, thank you very much for the work that you do, and thank you for availing yourself this afternoon. A big congratulations to you. Long may it last, and may you be protected. Thank you very much, ma'am, for availing yourself.
One love.